Today is, I think it's March 21st, I'm not sure. It's like 12:30 at night, and I'm ready to do a YouTube. Right now we have Vic's over at my house right now. He came over to chill with my other roommates. By the way, which are all raw right now. We have all raw roommates, which rocks. I mean, it really rocks. Because it's kind of mellow, chill, activism. I mean, everything that you want to think of, it's there in our house. Anyway, Vic is over now. Today we're at a. Explain what happened.
We were leafleting because today is a Great American Meetup, and don't be alarmed. This is not the Karate Kid. This is Arnold.
I'm going to identify with your black shirt.
Legendary Arnold from Arnold's Way in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Gotta plug your store because I love it so much.
Okay. Enough of that, guy.
Today we're handing out leaflets trying to convince people to take a look at where our food comes from and to adopt a vegetarian diet. To me that's very important because I think our world is straying towards the dark end, and in order to be healthy, in order for the environment, it's very important. In order to consider the suffering of other beings, I think it's very important to consider a vegetarian diet. It's not old McDonald's farm anymore, or the food that we put into our body, and the body is the temple. If you're spiritual, this is the only vessel we have of life, so we can be of service to other people or to our loved ones, or even to enjoy our own life. The meat that we eat, the flesh, is pumped with hormones, chemicals, additives. We can legally serve chemicals that make you addicted to fast food, such as McDonald's. There's chemicals in there that'll make you addicted to it.
When did you first get involved with vegetarianism, by the way?
Well, I always thought that when I saw meat being prepared, I always thought it was kind of disgusting. I saw, flesh, sinews,
right.
Muscle.
Was it when you were a young kid, or?
When I was young, and I saw the connection that this is the same as my own
right.
flesh. We need a chicken bone. It looks just the same as my bone.
One day your family was preparing your meal and said, "Mom, I can't eat the food anymore."
Initially, but then my intuition told me, no, I don't want to eat this anymore. But I forced myself to go along with what
right.
was considered normal.
Right.
And only when I got older did I see that I should have trusted my intuition.
Mm-hmm. And there's any changes since you became vegetarian, by the way?
I feel more energy, and I feel good because for a long time I knew that other beings were suffering just so that I could live. I knew that I was contributing to the pollution that was destroying our ozone just by eating meat, but it was sort of selfishness. I felt like I was, how can I hurt something that's innocent?
Just for your better.
So there was a guilt.
Right.
So since I went vegetarian and vegan, this guilt has been removed. But I do feel more vital eating, plant-based raw foods as opposed to processed foods or meat.
Good. What were you doing today? Talking about the white chicken and Easter.
Well, chicken. A lot of people are vegetarians, but they still consume eggs and dairy. And from what I understand, chickens are among the most abused animals on the planet. Their lives are miserable. They got up to 6 to 8 of them in this little wire coop. They don't even get to exist on terra firma, flat land. They don't even get to expand their wings, which is one of the most natural behaviors of a chicken. So they live a life of just incredible suffering.
Their beaks also?
Their beaks are chopped off with no anesthesia.
Right.
The male chicks get thrown into the trash dumpster, left to suffocate. Sorry?
It's 4 minutes. Go ahead. Continue.
And
you can talk for 4 more minutes.
So it's a complete,
Filming and Dan, yeah.
Thank you, Dan. And it's just a horrible injustice. So how can I, even to eat eggs and dairy, it's disgusting. And dairy, dairy cows live to over 20 years naturally. They live less than 4 years. Some of them aren't even allowed to turn around to see the sun. Their children are taken away to their bellowing agony. It's disgusting. And too many people fight for their illusions, and we need to fight for the truth. And once you see the truth of how our animals are made, what they do to us, how money, the cost-benefit analysis, economies of scale, how it's about making money. It's not about making people healthy. Whether it's pharmaceutical industries or the meat industries and their stupid lobbyists in Congress, it's enough to make you sick with anger. You know, so I urge you to spread the truth with your friends and family and expose them to a healthy, vegetarian, vegan lifestyle.
In fact, this is what you committed to. It's actually what you committed your life to, right?
Yes.
You this on your free time. You have free time. You're out there pushing.
We're out there on the streets. We're talking.
Literally on the streets.
We went from giving out 30,000 veg starter leaflets to 102,000 last year. We're trying to push for 250,000 this year. We got video images, projectors. You know, we want to readdress this injustice, and I know that people are good. And if you present the pleasure of eating meat versus a longer life, a healthier life, a more compassionate life, a better environment, feeling good about yourself, transcending your ego to having compassion, you know, it's a simple decision. The scale, you know, people are good. They just need to be informed. Right. So my job is to try to help people get informed.
Yeah, you can't eat death and expect to speak of peace.
No, no. It's all connected.
You can't eat death and expect to speak of peace.
And while I am an animal rights activist, to me,
right.
I'm an environmentalist, because to me being vegan is directly connected to fighting global warming. You know, and I'm a humanist because, you know, to make meat is, you know, 33 times more energy and grain takes to make a pound of meat versus a pound of grain.
Right.
And if we're all brothers and sisters of creation, how can I, you know, consume meat and these resources when other people are starving? People are starving to death. This is 33,000 people starve to death every day. That's not a statistic, that's a reality. And compassion is putting yourself in the place of the victim. You know, I never choose to be born in Sweden as a white man. I could have been born a black man, you know, born in India, been in a sweatshop. You know, so we need to have compassion for all people, all life, and, you know, whittle away at these prisons that we have. You know, I'm a human being. You know, all people are my brothers and sisters. I'm not an American. The whole planet is my home. You know, air and water doesn't stop at the border. And our compassion should not stop for white people, for rich people, you know, whatever the case may be. We got 2.3 million people in prison. There's a famous quote, you know, as long as...
Got one more minute. Say one more thing. We have a couple more minutes. Last words. Last famous quote by Vet. Go ahead.
Well, the quote I was going to say is by, I believe, W.B. Du Bois, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But as long as there's one soul in prison, I am not free. And that's a beautiful idea that we're connected. You know, the Rastas call it I and I. The connection of all mankind, the divinity in all. The Indian people, when they meet each other.
Be the change you want to be.
You know, when they connect their hands, it's one face of God meeting another face of God. So I ask you to please consider a vegetarian diet, be more compassionate, educate your neighbors, try raw foods, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, yay.